Good morning. It's 7 a.m. Monday. Before I started my day, I just wanted to real quick explain how the QAnon scams work that everybody's talking about on a QAnon recovery forum, a forum for people who have been affected by Q or whose loved ones are currently being affected by QAnon. And this has to do with the money scams. John Robles 2, you can find his account on Gab. He runs a lot of these scams. You can read about him loving Russia and President Putin, and he talks about his journalistic work, but he's already been exposed by the Interceptor news media outlet. You can look up John Robles 2 propaganda. It talks about where his money goes that is filtered to his accounts, and it talks about his money going directly to terrorists and other foreign nationals. So if you're using your Q clearance, this is a scam that QAnon does. If you're using your Q clearance to leak United States classified information to a Moscow registered WikiLeaks type site, that's called espionage. That's 34 years in federal prison. So I just wanted to give you that reality. I know a lot of people that do this believe that they're godlike and fallen angels and above the judicial system, but I think they're very naive and they don't really understand what they're actually doing. We urgently need to raise an emergency fund in the amount of $700,000 rubles in the next 10 days or we are done. Please donate and help save the truth today. Doesn't cost 700,000 rubles to run a website that prints the truth. He's raising that money for other reasons. That's already been exposed. He hates America. The only reason he posts about America so much is to get Americans from feeling uneasy with each other, like Civil War level uneasy with each other. He's very deceptive. So the specific scam I want to talk about now is a Social Security scam. It's very old. They're trying to peddle it through the off-circuit sect, but they mostly do it under, that's his Twitter account, Ghosting Your Wires. They mostly do it under Anonymous Legion. If you look up Anon IX Ghost Off-Circuit Sect, you can read about their Social Security scam. But what it is scammers pretending to be government officials trying to notify you by email, text messages, or other messages and claiming they've got your unclaimed property taxes. He's hitting up a lot of grandmothers on in QAnon forums. If your grandmother has a Telegram account, she's probably giving money to some QAnon. Here's another example of the scams. QAnon believer MIL is going to lose money on a scam. How do we stop it? Foreign currency scam. Are people scamming money from Q followers? My lifelong abuse victim mother is squandering her retirement money on some Q crypto scam that's telling her her regular money will soon lose all value. My mom is about to spend a crazy amount of money on an easy system, and he tipped to help her. And more QAnon money scams. So these QAnon money scams have been going on for a very, very long time, and I even know someone who had to stop his QAnon mother's house from getting foreclosed on because she quit paying the mortgage. And when he asked her why she quit paying the mortgage, she said because let me pull back up his account here because it goes under the Rex 84 conspiracy theory. The Rex 84 is a real plan, but the way it is translated to these grandmothers is that Trump is going to be elected president and the white hats are going to come save them, and that they do not need to pay their mortgage because once Trump's elected president, the current money system isn't going to matter. And the ones who are loyal to Trump don't need to pay their mortgage and need to be tithing into the QAnon plan because if they don't, the blue hats, the UN soldiers, are going to round them up and take them to FEMA camps where they will be burned Holocaust style in black FEMA coffins. So you would think that information is like, oh, nobody's going to believe that. But people are believing it. And it reminds me a lot of what happens to Christians when they watch these evangelical preachers on Christian news networks, and they end up, instead of paying their mortgage or their rent, they end up sending all their Social Security retirement check to these preachers. But instead of them sending it to the preachers, they're actually sending it to scammers. So he is a scammer. He hates America. He threatens Americans all day long. He threatens to blow up American monuments, American bridges, American buildings. He's gone so far as to threaten my children to keep me silent, making a fake pedo video about me, spreading lies about me that only the most bent mind would ever believe or even consider believing. Absolute scum. He says, I follow your son on Twitter. He seems unaware his mom is a Looney Tunes psychops for the filth of this world. And he keeps using the word psychops because he knows that I'm exposing him from running a Russia propaganda psychops. You can look up Putin's Z Army propaganda if you don't know anything about it. And if you are a QAnon or a loved one of QAnon or Q adjacent people, I encourage you to look up that Z Army, that cyber army, because you are being played with. You're being psychologically played with. Then he threatens to meet my son at school. He works until 3 p.m., right? Maybe I'll swing by and have a word with him. Okay, my son's a Marine, and this is the word that he said about you. John Robles, too, looks like a generic retard, neo-tanky Russian crypto-fascist, LOL. So your threats aren't going to work with me. And your threats to blow up America in the name of Russia aren't going to work on me either, hon. And last time I checked, it wasn't America that suffered a terrorist attack last. It was Russia. Didn't the ISIS-K just do something in Moscow? I think so.